Hello, everybody. Black Beauty here. Haven't been up here in a while. Been super, super busy working. But give me 1 second. Wanted to give you guys just a quick update. So, for all my Pan Africanists that have seen me lately on some of the panels, you know that we ran into a gentleman who has a lot of experience in I guess he studied theology in Germany. His name was Wale. We met it when we ran into him on the panel that was hosted by Dr. Rudolph, and he recommended several books to us. One of the books he recommended was A Tropical Dependency. So I ordered the book. The book is by Flora Lugard, and it's an outline of the ancient history of Western Sudan with an account of the modern settlement of northern Nigeria. So I have started reading this book. It came yesterday. I'm only up to the introductory. I've only read 10 out of the 26 pages of the introductory, but this was first published in 1906. And just to give you an idea of the kind of things that we're going to find in this book, and I think this is really important for us as we discuss our ties to the continent, and especially for us that are considered Hausa Fulani people. We want to be able to understand at what point did we come into what is considered northern Nigeria, and how the Sahel was kind of populated, in addition to how some of the empires were interacting with Europeans prior to the creation of Nigeria, and also some of the ways that one of the first reporters of the continent, Miss Flora Lugard, and I believe she was a lady. She was actually married to a gentleman. I'll find out more as I read. Um, the introduction is by John Henrik Clarke, and we're going to learn a lot in this book, a lot about how Nigeria became what it was, a lot about how it was set up, kind of like as a company, right, and the Royal Nigerian Company. And then we're going to find out a lot about the structures of the tribes and how they interacted prior to the white man coming in and just dominating. And I think this is going to be so important for me, a person like myself whose DNA connects directly to the kingdoms that were at play in this book. And it's going to be very important for most Pan-Africanists. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, I haven't sat down to read a book cover to cover in a while. Like, I've popped into a couple good books, and I read a few pages here and there. And they say if you want to hide something from someone of color, you put it in a book. But this book is going to be so important for us. So I'm just going to keep going through it. I had a great time sitting in the sunlight yesterday. It was a very beautiful day, out here in Brooklyn. And I just sat down, read the book, read the introduction, and was so intrigued. Some of the things that I saw in the introduction were just kind of like the ideas that the Europeans had in terms of like it being their God-given right to rule over Africans. And one of the things that I found as well was that this book, even though it was intended to kind of, give Europeans a lay of the land of West Africa, it actually ended up being a tool that was used by Kwame Nkrumah and by other really important Pan-Africanists who saw themselves as like, people that were going to excite and, bring the diaspora and the African back to its once prominence. They're going to talk about some of the migration that happened from Chad, so Western Sudan. So when you hear Western Sudan, according to this book, Western Sudan is basically West Africa. They considered all of that Western Sudan. So we're actually going to learn a lot about the Songhai tribe, and we're going to learn a lot about the Fulani. We're going to learn a lot about whom else? Oh my God, I mean, there's so much in here, but I'm just gonna go through really quickly, and because I'm waiting for my my pasta, and I just cracked open some wine, and um, trust me, I've had a long day. I had to work, and I also sat in the park. It's a beautiful day today, but I want to read the table of contents for you all. Okay, so chapter 1 is the introduction. That's what introductory. That's what they call it. That's what I'm reading right now. I'm halfway through that. Chapter 2, conquest of North Africa and Spain by the Arabs. Chapter 3, Arab civilization in Spain. Chapter 4, the empire of the two shores. Chapter 5, African rule in Spain. Chapter 6, decline of Mohammedan power in Spain. Chapter 7, Spanish Arabs in Africa. Chapter 8, the Sudanese states. Chapter 9, Negro land and the Western Arabs. Chapter 10, Berber and Black. Chapter 11, the trade of Ghana. 12, Moabite conquest of the Sudan. 13, Ghana and Timbuktu. 14, the Palestine. I don't know what that is. Palestine. You guys must know better than me. Uh, Chapter 15, Mansa Musa. And as you can see, it's all in like the Roman. So I have to like really be careful in reading the numbers. But chapter 15 is Mansa Musa. I know that's going to be a hell of a chapter. 16, Ibn Battuta in Mele. 17, administration of the Palestine. 18, meeting of Eastern and Western influence upon the Niger. 19, the rise of the Songhai Empire. We're going to enjoy that. Was that was 19, yeah. 19, the rise of the Songhai Empire. 20, military conquests of Sonia Ali. 21, Askia Muhammad Abu Bakr. 22, Songhai under the Askia the Great. 23, Songhai under Askia the Great continued. 24, the later Askias. 25, ancient connection of Hausa land with the valley of the Nile. That's where I come in, right? That's my ancestry. 26, the pharaohs in Hausa land. 27, the Hausa states. Here we go. 28, the domination of Kano. 29, Hausa land to the end of the 18th century. 30, Borno. I know a lot of you guys know where that's at. 31, condition of the Sudan at the end of the 16th century. 32, the Moorish conquests. So for all of you people that go around here talking about we were Moors, that's going to be for y'all. 23, the Sudan after the Moors. 24, Sudan closed to the Western world. That's interesting. 25, Europe and West Africa. Europe in West Africa, not and. 26, the European slave trade. 27, England and France on the lower Niger. 28, the Royal Niger Company. That's the beginning of Nigeria. 29, transfer of Niger Company's territories to the crown. I don't know. I can't with these letters. My God. Is that 39? 29, 39? Y'all, let me read the next ones. XL. I don't know what the hell that is. I'm not good with the Roman numbers, but that's going to be the origin of the Fulani. Then the rise of the Fulani in the Sudan. Sultan Bello. Northern Nigeria under Fulani rule. Slave raiding. The establishment of British administration. Military occupation in the Southern Emirates and Borno. Conquest of Sokoto and Kano. British policy in northern Nigeria. Nigeria under British rule, slavery. Nigeria under British rule, taxation. Nigeria under British rule, justice and general reorganization. economic resources of northern Nigeria, the development of trade, and then an index. We are going to be going through this. I am going to go through this, and I'm going to invite some of you all who are also reading the book. I suggest you guys go on Amazon, because when I went on there last week after our conversation, there was 25 copies. When I bought mine, there was like 11 copies. So I suspect some of y'all who was also in that conversation on Dr. Rudolph's panel also went and bought this book. So I expect y'all to read this book, and I expect to have conversations with y'all about this book. All right? Because if we're going to talk about creating a land of blacks, of excellent blacks, and having influence in the diaspora over that country that you all call Nigeria, that we pretty much know is our ancestral home, and for some of you is your direct home. Some of you were born there. I was not privileged to be born there. I was born here in New York City. We are PanAfricanists, and we are looking for what we can do to impact and influence those people living in that continent, influence the diaspora, and to regain control of our resources, understand how we were perceived. And this is the blueprint of a better understanding of who we are as a people. This is going to tell us a lot about who we were in terms of how other people saw us prior to the establishment of the Royal Niger Company. I look forward to reading this book with you all. I love you all. And I got to go because I really think I just heard my gate open downstairs. And that pretty much means that my pasta is here. I'm about to have some good Italian pasta because I will eat any good food from anybody. I don't give a damn. Can't eat African food every day. But I look forward to it, y'all. This is who I am. No lie, like I'm not gonna come on YouTube and have conversations about relationships. I'm in a very strong marriage, and I love my husband. He is a Yoruba and Wari, and he speaks fluent Yoruba. He's from the southern states, but he was born in Acacia. I love him so much. He knows what journey I'm on. This is a journey I've been on since high school. My second degree, I have 2 degrees. One is in business, and my second degree is in African studies. The first exam I ever took in African studies was a blank map of Africa, and either you were going to get 100 or you were going to fail. And I got 100 on the first try, every single country. I know the geography better than I know America. I'm planning on going home. Well, I've already repatriated. I have a place over there. I live over there half the year when it's cold here. And I can't do much. I don't speak the languages that great. I speak a little bit more Yoruba than Hausa. I'm learning a few phrases here and there. And what I can do, though, is I can analyze these books. I can analyze this history, and I can give my contributions where I can. So thank you guys, and expect to see more about this book. I love y'all. Peace.